Hello, welcome to Wet the Flick. I am Christy, this is Alonzo, this is Matt. We're talking about Cosmopolis, which has been out for a few weeks, but we thought it was worth discussing because it's Robert Pattinson not sinking his teeth into anybody's necks. Not literally.
Not literally.
Metaphorically, perhaps. Please describe it to us.
Okay, it's based on a novel by Don DeLillo, and Pattinson stars as a basically sort of billionaire Wall Street whiz kid, master of the universe type. The movie is almost entirely set inside of his limousine over the course of one fateful day in Manhattan, where he runs into one traffic jam after another. There's the president's in town, there's an anarchist riot, there's a funeral for a Sufi rapper, and people kind of come in and out of the car. He occasionally gets out and has meals with his wife who doesn't want to sleep with him. Women who do want to sleep with him wind up in the limo with him. There's a lot of discussion about the future and about fate and destiny, and it's sort of heavy lifting, but kind of worth it. Take a look.
Something will happen soon.
The situation isn't stable.
I know. I'm losing money by the ton, hundreds of millions.
There is someone who's prepared to kill you.
My personal fortune is in ruins, and there's been an incredible threat on my life. Makes me feel free in a way I've never known.
Free to do what?
People eat and sleep in the shadow of what we do.
This is a protest against the future.
The urge to destroy is a creative urge.
It's interesting to be near a man somebody wants to kill.
I'm looking for more. Stun me to my DNA. Show me something I don't know.
Go ahead.
I have a question.
Ask me a question.
Aren't rioters by definition anarchists?
No.
I don't know. If they're rioting in like a really unified way.
But then it wouldn't be a riot.
Soccer hooligans aren't anarchists.
They all want the same thing, right? They want their team
More
to win,
beer.
and they want more beer, right?
All right, never mind.
I found this so pretentious and so stiff and so at arm's length. And yes, it is kind of eerily prescient in that it like presages the whole Occupy movement in a lot of ways. But I did not care about anything that happened to him during the course of the day. A couple of moments are absurdly funny. But other than that, I'm like, who cares?
I think it's an interesting film to think about in terms of, it's almost in a way a sequel to Cronenberg's Crash. In terms of being about people and their cars and their connection to their cars, and the whole the big Cronenberg thing about the new flesh and about how man and technology become one, you know, in Videodrome and in The Fly.
It is Videodrome in a lot of ways.
And yeah, so it's a lot of talking and it's a lot of Cronenberg talking, which means that everyone's doing this a lot.
But they're inside the limo, so it's okay.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how they should be talking, inside a limo. I mean, yeah, this is a capital A art house movie. Like it, you know, I think there are going to be Twilight fans who will see anything that Robert Pattinson's in who are going to be, you know, not down for this at all.
Right.
When does he take his shirt off?
When does Bella get pregnant?
Yeah.
Why isn't she pregnant yet?
But it was one of those movies that I think about 5 or 10 minutes in, I was like, okay, it's going to be this. So
it's going to be this the whole time.
It's going to be this the whole time. So I'm gonna dial down whatever expectations I had, and I'm just going to get onto this and see if it takes me somewhere. And I thought it did. Okay. I thought it led to interesting places. I think pretty much all I think Pattinson is really good, although I don't know if he's really good at doing this, or it's the kind of thing like when Kubrick cast Keir Dullea in 2001, and he just deliberately cast somebody who was really sort of bland and non-responsive.
Right. Is he acting?
Is he acting, or is he just boring? I don't know. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on this one, and we'll see. Time will tell. But I thought he was really cool in it, and I thought the supporting cast, you know, people like Juliette Binoche and Jay Baruchel, I don't know when they're ever going to do a movie together again, you know, Paul Giamatti, all these sort of, Samantha Morton. I don't know, I really got into it once I realized that it was going to go at this pace, and it was not going to leave the car, and it was going to just sort of be this movie that he was doing. I think on that level it works.
Not so much for you.
You know, I came out of this movie, I'll admit I didn't get it.
That's okay.
I didn't get it. It was, you know, there were times in the movie it felt like watching a Mamet movie, and I love Mamet movies. It's that level of kind of
cryptic.
Cryptic,
talkiness.
precise talking, in a way that no one in real life speaks. It felt like a play at times. I imagine what this would be like on stage. And I kind of liked parts of it, but in the end, I found like I guess my big issue is I didn't really care what was going on with the character, and I don't know that I necessarily am supposed to.
I think you are supposed to. His whole day, his fate plays out over the day. Are you supposed to care what happens to him? If he's being targeted by an assassin, shouldn't we care whether he lives or dies?
I felt like this was
I
kind of...
I don't even know that he cares if he lives or dies, though. I think it's
so
part
why
of
should we?
Well, because I think that I think it's not so much about just the character as much as he is, in a sense, kind of a walking metaphor, which I'm okay with. And so
he's a sitting metaphor.
As a sitting, that's true. He's a passenger metaphor.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like this is, a lot of this was kind of an intellectual exercise. And again, like, I feel like Mamet does that too. And I don't come out of something like Heist necessarily feeling like I really am invested in those characters. But this one, for whatever reason, I just wasn't really that along for the ride, so to speak. There were some shocking moments in it, some things I was really surprised about, but I didn't really care that much where the character came from, what his backstory, what was going to happen to him. Yeah.
I enjoyed a lot of the precision of the dialogue, right? There's a very, very arch kind of structured way in which these people all speak to each other, as you say, which nobody else actually really does. But then it leads to this long, almost like a mini play within the film between Paul Giamatti and
Pattinson.
Our Pats, yes. And I don't want to give away what all happens, but like that's its own separate thing, and it just goes on for freaking ever. Did that scene work for you guys?
It did, actually.
Did it? Okay.
For me, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, see, that felt like that went on way, way long.
It's like 20 minutes.
Yeah, that felt like it went on really long, and I thought, well, why didn't we get it? Like, it was just, the pacing was weird. Like, the rhythm of the movie, I think, was really off to me.
I will say it's the kind of movie that you should see early in the day and preferably after a caffeinated beverage.
Yeah. Don't have a drink. Have a drink before Lawless. Don't have a drink before this one. One quick question, then I want to do numbers. Does this in any way change Robert Pattinson's career? Does this let us see a different side of him and open other doors for him?
I think so. I think so. I think that we saw him. I think he's an underrated actor. I think that he, has shown in different roles that he can do some interesting stuff. And I think that with the right director and the right role, we could probably see great things. I think that he's kind of trapped in those Twilight movies, and the best thing that's going to happen to him is that they're going to be done soon.
I wonder if he's funny. He never gets a chance to be funny, because in like the Twilight films and in this, and then what was one where he played Salvador Dali?
Little Lashes.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
There were some gags in here that I thought that he had some timing, like...
With the wife.
Yeah, or like when he's, he's getting the
banter.
exam and he's like, I thought that scene was, when he's getting the medical exam, I thought that was kind of funny.
What I think is interesting is that in the movies that he's making between Twilight films, he's making aggressively uncommercial movies.
I admire that.
I didn't love Little Ashes, I didn't love Bellamy, but I admire the fact that he is like looking for interesting material and interesting directors to work with, and stuff that is as far afield from what he's famous for at the moment as possible.
True.
So I think if he can sort of take his chits when this is all over and cash them in working with the David Cronenbergs of the world, that's what's going to sort of save him from just being kind of a teen idol.
From being Edward for the rest of his life.
Yes.
Let's do numbers, please. Matt Atchity.
Like I said, I didn't get it, but it kept me interested. I didn't want to walk out, so I had 5.5.
7.8, I was in.
I got it less than you did, or didn't like it as much as you did. I gave it a 4, so our average is 5.8. It is doing much better than this in the tomato world, where it's like 65-ish right now. I think it's been out in limited release. Maybe it's going wider, so take a look near you and get in the car with our Pats. Bye.